Right, in a crowded field of 2020 Democratic candidates, Andrew Yang is standing out. The former tech executive wants to give every American over 18 a universal basic income of $1,000 per month.
Amazon's this trillion-dollar tech company, closing 30% of our stores and malls and paying zero in taxes.
So universal basic income, $1,000 a month, is an insurance policy against the threat of automation.
Yeah, it helps give tens of millions of Americans a real path forward. And the thing that excites me the most is you can see that it would improve people's health, nutrition, it would elevate graduation rates, it would improve people's mental health, but it would help people make transitions in a time of historic change. But this was mainstream political wisdom in the 60s. Martin Luther King
Jr.
Yeah, he came out and said, the best solution to poverty is to abolish it directly through a guaranteed minimum income.
Now, one of the answers, it seems to me, is a guaranteed annual income, a guaranteed minimum income for all people and for all families of our country.
And it is what he was fighting for when he was killed in 1968. So it seems far out, but we don't have a choice but to make this happen, given that right now more and more of us are getting pushed to the side. And this is before AI leaves the lab and starts ripping apart jobs in corporations around the country.
It seems to me that the civil rights movement must now begin to organize for the guaranteed annual income, begin to organize people all over our country and mobilize forces so that we can bring to the attention of our nation this need and this something which I believe will go a long, long way toward dealing with the Negro's economic problem and the economic problem which many other poor people confront in our
America's got, what, 350 million people?
Yes.
And a huge national debt. This will add to that.
Well, it won't necessarily, because if you look around, again, one of the big winners from this process is going to be Amazon, and Amazon paid zero in federal taxes last year. So what we have to do is we have to join every other advanced economy and have a value-added tax that would give the American people a tiny slice of every Amazon sale and every Google search. That's really the trap we're in, that right now, as that value takes off, if we're in position to see zero of it, then we're
just left behind.
Yes, but if we get a sliver of it, a sliver of a very, very large number is also a very, very large number. Oh, well, you can tailor a VAT so it falls more heavily on, let's say, luxury goods than consumer staples. But so this is why you need a mechanism so that we all share in that progress, or else things are just going to get darker and darker.
Yeah. Right.
Can you imagine we pass that dividend, the checks go out, the American people will be like, oh my gosh, like we did something that I actually love and it's making us better, stronger, healthier. And then we'll look up and say, okay, Republicans, what else can we do that historically you've been on board with?
Like, and you won't tax it, right? That money won't be taxed, right?
That money's not taxed.
Okay.
So this is actually the best way that we can bring the country together and start solving problems, because I'm a different type of politician. If we get someone else in office that's just going to continue the polarization, nothing's going to get done. But you put Yang in, there are a lot of Republicans who think that they can actually get on board with the dividend, because what they hate is giant bureaucracies making everyone's decisions. Yeah. They do not mind money in people's hands.
The only thing I worry about is that some total unknown that nobody ever heard of comes along.